What happens if venom infected a young samurai in feudal Japan? As an ancient force known as the Oni merges with an unsuspecting apprentice, the line between warrior and monster begins to blur. This unique take on the symbiote saga explores honor, power, and the price of wielding forces beyond human understanding. In the fading light of a spring afternoon, frustration echoed across the mountain landscape as a master searched for his overdue apprentice. The boy had promised to return by dawn, yet here they were at 1 in the afternoon, with no sign of his return. Through the twisted paths of the forest, the master's pursuit led him to an unsettling discovery. His student was no longer alone. The apprentice struggled against an invisible force, his body racked with internal conflict. The mysterious entity, the Oni, refused to be conquered through mere consumption. Each attempt to devour it proved futile, as the creature's essence remained undiminished. Diving deep into the Oni's consciousness, the young warrior found only emptiness, a void where memories should have existed. A deafening roar shattered the forest's silence as the Oni manifested in its true form, a massive crimson beast that towered above the trees. Its spider-like form, raw and terrifying, caused the young warrior Kintaro to recoil in shock. Yet, in this moment of horror, a small detail caught his eye. A tiny Oni, barely larger than an insect, scuttling across the ground. His master's voice cut through the chaos, demanding swift action. There was no time for hesitation or fear. The blade must fall. With determination replacing terror, Kintaro raised his weapon, ready to strike down this ancient evil before it could fully claim its power. The Crimson Oni lashed out through the forest canopy, its monstrous form radiating malevolent intent. Yet Kintaro hesitated, drawing criticism from his master, a recurring weakness in moments that demanded ruthless action. The beast lunged forward, but Kintaro managed to dodge, his movements betraying his uncertainty. Through the chaos emerged a commanding presence, Usui Sadamitsu of the Minamoto Samurai Corps. His fur-lined coat billowed as he assessed the situation with calculating eyes. Something was deeply wrong with the Oni today. It twisted and divided in ways that defied comprehension. A chilling truth came to light. This fragment of the creature existed independently, without any host to guide or contain it. Usui's battle-hardened confidence cut through the tension like a blade. His scythe, a weapon more commonly seen harvesting wheat in peaceful fields, now gleamed with deadly purpose. He stood between Kintaro and his target, a predatory grin spreading across his face as he claimed this battlefield as his domain. Below them sprawled the vast expanse of Minamoto territory, where word of their arrival had already reached the master's residence. The two warriors finally stumbled into their master's presence, bodies heavy with exhaustion. Their breaths came in ragged gasps as they bowed deeply, offering hurried apologies for their late return. Their master's response carried both relief and veiled amusement. At least they'd managed to survive the encounter. Yet there was something in his eyes that suggested he knew far more about the day's events than he let on. In the dimly lit chamber of the Minamoto Samurai Corps, 3 figures stood before the young warriors, their master at the center, his presence commanding answers about their tardiness. The tension eased slightly as talk turned to a curious discovery among the Oni's ashes, delaying the impending coming-of-age ceremony. Among the remains, they found something extraordinary, a mask with a design that would one day be known to modern viewers as Spider-Man's iconic face. But to these medieval warriors, it was an alien artifact, a fabric with bizarre web-like patterns that defied their understanding of textile crafting. They examined it with mixture of curiosity and suspicion, unable to comprehend its true nature or origin in their time. The master, sensing its importance, tasked Kintaro with delivering it to Saime, hoping the mysterious material might provide answers about the hostless Oni. As the sun began its descent, the group gathered for Kintaro's coming-of-age ceremony. The atmosphere was thick with unspoken tension, particularly between Kintaro and Sadamitsu. Their recent encounter with the Oni had left them both rattled, though neither would readily admit it. Sadamitsu's arrogance surfaced as he dismissed Kintaro's gratitude with sharp words, leading to a heated exchange that broke the ceremony's solemnity. The master offered birthday wishes to Kintaro, marking his 14th year with words that carried hidden weight about his survival. Yet as these ceremonies concluded, a more sinister scene unfolded. In the shadows, a figure with striking white hair smiled darkly, having finally located their quarry. Beyond the temple walls, an even more chilling sight emerged, a massive crimson oni looming over two white-robed figures, announcing with menacing intent that mealtime had arrived. In the warm glow of sunset, a momentous ceremony unfolded as Kintaro knelt before his master. The air grew heavy with tradition as the young warrior received his inheritance, the noble family name of Sakata. His master bestowed upon him the title Toki, completing his new identity as Sakata Kintoki. This moment of pride, however, was quickly overshadowed by another revelation about his father, written in bold strokes on a piece of paper. Before anyone could fully process the meaning of this message, strange symbols began appearing in the air, the same mysterious markings that were associated with the vacant oni. The tension in the room shifted as one of the men demanded to know if they had truly burned all of the oni's remains to ashes. A distant rumbling interrupted their discussion, but it wasn't an earthquake as some suggested. It was something far more sinister. Through the splintering wood of the temple walls burst not one but three massive crimson oni, their maws stretched wide with hunger. The scene exploded into chaos as the warriors scattered for safety. Behind them, the white-haired figures watched the unfolding carnage with calculated interest, their presence suggesting this was no random attack. The warriors regrouped, their faces etched with shock as they gazed upward at an impossible sight. A legion of oni now filled the sky, their red forms creating a terrifying tapestry against the fading light. The master's face twisted into an unsettling smile as he surveyed the horde, offering just one chilling command to the assembled demons: attack. Chaos erupted across the compound as crimson oni swarmed from above, their massive forms casting dark shadows over the panicked crowds below. Through this mayhem, a clear voice cut through the air. "Tsuna!" In a flash of practiced motion, explosives were armed and thrown, their golden light piercing through the invasion force. The blast illuminated the battlefield, forcing several oni back as warriors moved into defensive positions. Suatake called out warnings as more explosives detonated, creating tactical openings in the swarm. The protective boundary that had kept Heian-kyo safe for so long had been breached, leaving the capital vulnerable to this unprecedented threat. Amid the chaos, urgent orders flew between the warriors. Kintoki needed to reach Saimei immediately, not just to deliver the mysterious pouch they'd discovered, but to investigate the boundary's failure. Sadamitsu's usual bravado cracked as he faced his master, guilt weighing heavily on his shoulders for the current crisis. Yet there was no time for regret. He received new orders to serve as Kintoki's guardian, a duty he swore to fulfill even at the cost of his own life. The Minamoto Samurai Corps rallied in this darkest hour, their weapons raised against the crimson tide above. They stood as the capital's last line of defense, their unified voices carrying across the battlefield with unwavering resolve. As the sun set behind them, these warriors prepared to protect Kyoto with everything they had, their silhouettes merging into a single front against the otherworldly invasion force. The true battle for their homeland was about to begin.